Hey, it's still Berserk month over here in the Nerd Lounge, which means we've got another Berserk video. Today I thought we'd try out a new format and talk about the characters of Berserk, because Berserk has some of the most interesting and most well-written characters in all of manga. And the new format is a tier list. So, welcome to ranking every single Berserk character. Let's jump over to the computer. I think we should probably start off by explaining the tier list. We got 7 tiers, the top being obviously S, and going down through A, B, C, D, F, and then I've made a new category which is just who, because there's a lot of characters on this list that I chose that actually, who even are they? And also, I picked this list specifically because it breaks down some of the characters throughout the arcs, and I just thought that would be interesting to talk about. But first things first, we're quickly going to move everyone who I don't recognize into the who category. Okay. There are a lot more there that I don't really recognize, or I've just got absolutely nothing to say about them. So let's start going through the ones I actually do know. And I'm not the most memorable on the names. I'm sorry. First up, we got the guy that Casca fights in the Golden Age arc. He's a bit of a creep. He's a bit of a weirdo, and he's a bit of a sore loser, so he's going in F tier. The Onion Knight, the Mustache Knight, whatever you call him, he's been hanging around for a little while. He's been in the background. When he was in the series, I actually kind of liked his outlook, and I like the fact that he's tagged along, but he's gonna have to go in C tier. Next up, we got the people that attack Guts and the band in the sewers. We don't really learn too much about them, but they're pretty good bad guys. C tier. I don't remember these two gentlemen's name. C tier. And I don't know this guy's name either, so he's probably going in C tier. He's the one that Guts fights when he leaves the Band of the Hawk, and he's also becoming somewhat more prevalent in the newer chapters. So potentially we'll see more of him, but he really doesn't serve anything to the story. I'm moving them both down to D tier. Next up, we've got the Behelit. Now, is the Behelit even a character? Do you class it as a character? I don't really class it as a character. It's more of like a plot device, but it's gonna be super important, and if we are talking in like importance and how it's gonna turn out in the ending of the manga, it's probably got to go in A tier. Next up, we got the pirate captain from the best arc of Berserk, which lands itself firmly in F, because this is probably the worst character in all of Berserk. Next up, we got the big strong dude that I'm pretty sure Guts takes out early in the Golden Age, and that's gonna go at the top of D tier. Demon Goat Dude from the Conviction arc. It can go in F. Some of these are just, why are they even a character? Right, next up, we've got an actual character from the Golden Age arc. This is Corcus. Now, I kind of liked Corcus's character, not for the fact that he is a likable character, but just for the fact that he adds something interesting. So we're going to put him at the top of C tier. My girl, my absolutely legendary level female character, Casca, is our very first S tier, and this is the Golden Age Casca, because you can't really judge Casca on her after the Golden Age, because she becomes much more of like a muted character. She's not really in the story too much. So after Golden Age Casca, it's gonna go all the way down to the C tier. It's complicated. She's not really a character, but she is so important to the story, so we'll put her in B tier just for how important she is to the actual story. If you're watching this channel, you probably like reading. And if you like reading, then you probably need things to read. Well, I've got just the site for you, Sci-Fire. Sci-Fire is an absolutely wonderful bookstore that specializes in sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, and of course, manga. I've been using them for absolutely ages, because they not only have great pricing, but also fantastic customer service and top-notch packaging. Like, look at this. If you want to use Sci-Fi yourself, you can head down to the link in the description and use the code NERDLOUNGE for 5% off every order. So get yourself some books, get yourself a discount, and support the channel at the same time. Back to the video. I'm pretty sure this next one is Shirkei's Elf, so bottom of C tier. Actually, below Caucus, above the other dudes in C tier. Now, what's this guy called? This guy, I'm pretty sure, is named Daiba, and he's another one who I think is going to be quite important to the coming of the story. He's helping Ricket out at the moment. He's going to be interesting, and he does have some cool ideas. I think he's still not cracking B tier for me, so he's going to go below Caucus in C tier. Now, who is this? Is this the Queen of Elfheim? She can plant herself in C tier. I'm not 100% sure who that is. Now we've got Mozgus's torturers. Now, what purpose do they really serve in the story? They're secondary antagonists. They are all pretty creepy, to be fair. So I think I'd have to put them in C tier above the villain from the tunnels that I've also put in C tier. Actually, no, they're all going in D tier. Apart from the one with like the plague doctor mask, he can go in C tier. Now, who's this? What is this guy even called? It's literally a meme. Definitely not called Donovan. His name is Donovan. This guy, for probably second worst person in this entire world and this entire story, he's going a big fat F tier. Because I don't support that. Whilst he is a good, like, antagonist, sort of, nah, get the fuck out of here. The Egg Apostle. He is actually really, really important to the story. And I liked his backstory. I liked where he come from. I'm going to plant him probably in B tier, but then I'm going to put Caucus up one, and that guy can go behind him. That's what I'm going to do. I think this next one is the daughter of the blacksmith, Godo, and he is a really, really important character. His daughter, not so much, so she can slot herself in C tier. Lady Farnese. She's gotta go in the top of B tier. Farnese hasn't cracked that moment with me where she is a amazing written character, because she's just not, but her character arc and where it's going is so interesting, and she's come so far. She's not cracking A tier because A tier is really gonna be dedicated to certain characters. She definitely is gonna sit at the top of B, and I'd be surprised if anyone goes on top of her in B. That's my logic. Shirkei's master, she can go at the bottom of B tier. I can't remember what her name is. Love that. But she is instrumental to Guts' story. She's instrumental to getting the Berserker armor. So she needs to be given some level of props on this list. The bold fellow who keeps popping up and keeps trying to betray people, he's gonna go in the bottom end of C tier, probably over Godo's, probably over these three. He's important to the story. He's a player in the Game of Thrones side of Berserk that just keeps failing and is really there to show just how brutal Griffith is, and he's gonna keep turning up unless he's dead. I actually can't. He might be dead, you know. King Gaiseric. There's so much mystery behind this guy. Is Skull Knight's on here? Okay, we're not counting them as the same character. Gaiseric, I'm gonna put at the top of C. We need to find out more about him. We need to find out who he is, but I think his backstory is going to be a pivotal moment in finding out what is going on in Berserk, like behind the scenes. So he's gonna have to sit somewhere high, I think. Gambino. I want to put Gambino in F because he's just scum of the earth, but also really well written, short antagonist. He's gonna go in the bottom of B tier just because how instrumental he is in Guts' growth and Guts' story going forward, but scum of the earth character, I can't lie. The Emperor guy. Where would he go? He's gonna go top of C. He's a good villain. The way his arc ended was weird. It started off the Fantasia arc, like the way his arc ended. But he's a good villain. He's probably the main antagonist for the longest point of time. Maybe? Is he? Nah, I don't know. C tier. It's gonna annoy me that I can't remember this guy's name, but this is the guy that's in Guts' band and the guy that dies during the eclipse. He is gonna have to go in the bottom of B tier above all of these. Above Caucus as well, actually, because his death, I feel like, was one of the biggest ones for Guts, because this was someone that looked up to Guts, that really showed Guts that he could be his own person, and his death, I feel like, hit Guts quite a lot. So I'm gonna rank him quite high. Scum of the Earth, F tier. This is the guy that took advantage of Griffith. Yeah. He's not as bad as Donovan, but he's still pretty bad. The God Hand. Okay, so this is gonna be fairly simple. Void is bottom of A tier. How do I have these two in A tier? Who knows? Super instrumental part of the God Hand. Slan, bottom of B tier. Smiley Dude and Fat Dude, bottom of D tier. We just don't see enough of them. I don't even remember their names. They're gonna sit. Actually, no, they can't go there. Bottom of C tier. Griffith, Femto Griffith. Now, I'm about to throw out... There's 4 Griffiths on here, actually. I've just realized that. Femto Griffith is a big, fat, top of C tier character because Femto Griffith we don't see that much of, and that's going to make sense in a minute because next up let's do Falcon of the Millennium Empire Griffith, so the leader of Falconia Griffith, which is going to sit on the top of B. This is a man who has everything. This is a man who has achieved everything, and we see a fair amount of him raising his army. He meets up with Ricket. Like, there's all this stuff. It's not a very well written character. We don't get a deep dive into their psychology, so that's why it's in B, but it is also a really cool character. And the swords, Hill of Swords scene is prem de la prem. Pre-Eclipse Griffith, we see so little of him as a character. He can't speak, he can't do anything, but this has got to sit bottom of A. Like, pre-Eclipse Griffith is so important, and even that small amount that he does have, we see him where he reaches out and tries to attack Guts in his own sort of way, and it just means so much. A tier. Golden Age Griffith, S tier. I've said it. He's still scum of the earth. He is. And Femto is also scum of the earth. Well, it's mainly Femto that does the bad shit. Griffith is such a well-written character. S tier. There's no argument. I'm sorry. Godo, A tier. Above Griffith. Above Void. Above. Godo is... What the fuck just happened to my list? Godo is such a cool character to Berserk. He really does that psychological, philosophical deep dive that I love from series like Vinland, series like Vagabond. Godo is that for Berserk, and yeah, top of A tier. Obviously. Grunbeld, I think that's his name. We ain't seeing too much of this guy. He's gonna slot somewhere random in C tier. We'll come back round to Guts. We're gonna quickly fire through some of these odd characters. So we got the Archer dude. That's just going in C tier. Maybe a bar around where Grunbeld is. Is this Farnese's brother? D tier, dead character. The King, scum of the earth. The Snake Apostle will go D tier. This, like, alien-looking Don from the new Band of the Hawk is going C tier. Mona, I want to say she's called Mona, something like that. She's a mid character, probably C tier above the villains. Mozgus is a really interesting, like, religiously... His storyline is massively focused on religion and the power of religion and the bad side of religion and extremist religion. He's the main antagonist of the main antagonist of the Conviction arc. Griffith isn't even a thing. Femto isn't even a thing until the very end. This is like the main antagonist. He's pretty dope. I really like him. He's gonna go top of B tier. For a villain, fantastically written. When he goes Apostle mode, he's going somewhere around C tier because... I hate his apostle design, I can't even lie. Simple as that. The Queen during the Golden Age arc. Cool villain, political, like, inclined storyline again. Dies in a really awesome way. She can go, like, around C tier. The weird mask guy. Oh, the weird mask guy. I really can't remember too much of, like, what he does. There's so much just sitting in the middle, like C tier, because I just don't remember what they do to the story, so why are they important? The Slug Baron is an interesting first look into what apostles are like. He's not even the first apostle, but we get to see the humanity of an apostle, like the other side of one. We'll put him C tier again, just straight down the middle. The Torturer from Golden Age. Scum of the earth, get out of here. That's just a dead character. F, not scum of the earth though. Golden Age Guts is fucking S tier, bro. There's no way that this character, the character from Bonfire of Dreams, the character from Wounds, there's no way he's not going in S tier. Every single Guts is S tier, bro. Guts' character arc is one of the most interesting in manga. It's this story of revenge, of hatred, but of learning that there is hope in the world and learning that you need to find your purpose. And you've all seen the video from the beginning of this month. Most of that is about Guts, man. Berserk is Guts' story. How can you put him anywhere but S tier? He's not the best written protagonist ever, but he's so fucking up there, bro. Perfection. S tier. It's got to go at the top of S, you know. Although, this is the order we're going for. Golden Age Guts at the top. Casca, Griffith, current Guts. I want to say this is End of Eclipse Guts, and then kind of Falcon and the Elite Empire Guts at the bottom. But they're all S tier. You can't trump that. Perfection. Isidro is a newer character. He is less important than Farnese. He's probably going to fit where Farnese is. He's become a lot of like just comedy relief, which sucks. His mermaid girlfriend, we'll put her in top of C tier. She's interesting. I like her. Who is this? What's this girl's name? I want to say Rosaline's friend from the Lost Children arc, which is really, 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 really good. Berserk arc, like probably second best. So good. I loved her story. She's going in B tier under the main cast. She's so, yeah, I like her story a lot. My boy Judo, A tier, bro. So well written. I loved him. So good. Girl from Conviction arc who basically causes a lot of issues. She's interestingly written. She's a good example of cowardice and of cowardice in the face of adversity, which is the opposite of other characters in Berserk, which are just brave in the face of adversity. She's cool. I'll put her somewhere around B tier. And then the leader of her kind of brothel kind of group, she seems like she's about to be important. She can go B tier as well. The Moonlight Child. This is hard because we don't know too much about them. We do know they're Griffith. This is gonna have to go in A tier with the Behelit because it's going to be instrumental to the story, but we don't know too much about them at the moment. Pippin, I just love the original Band of the Hawk so much. He's gonna have to go above Vegetable Casca, Potato Casca. Let's go. Princess Charlotte. Now, Princess Charlotte is one of the characters that I hate the most in all of this series because she just blindly looks at Griffith with wonder and amazement. However, I think she's going to get her comeuppance. I think she's going to learn that he is not a good guy. And also, the way she's portrayed is important for the message that Berserk tells you. It's important to show the manipulation and also to show that she was used as Griffith's excuse to break character, to break down. She's pretty solid. I don't like her for reasons other than the fact she is well written. She just annoys me as a character, so B tier. Puck. We love Puck. Puck is A tier. Cute dumpling weird Puck is bottom of B tier. This guy's just comic relief, and it's a shame that Puck has just been reduced to comic relief because some of his like speeches in the early chapters are really good, and we just don't get that anymore, and it's sad. Golden Age Ricket. This is going to be an absolute VIO because Ricket is a fantastic character, but C tier, and current Ricket is going top of A. The slap, big ballsy move. I can't lie. And I absolutely love it. He's going to be instrumental to the next arc. Can't wait for him to reunite with Guts. I love Ricket. Very, 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 very good character. Can't remember this guy's name. He's on the ship. He's going to go in C tier. Now, I'm going to make up her name. I think it's Rosaline. It might not be Rosaline. We'll see. Again, the paramount part of one of the best arcs of Berserk. Extremely well written. Really good example of loneliness and how being cast out can turn you against the world, so much so that she takes on an apostlehood. She becomes an apostle, and she's also not entirely evil as an apostle, and I really liked it. I'm gonna do a whole video on the Lost Children at some point. Solid fucking character. She's going above Casca. Shirkei, I like Shirkei. She's interesting. She provides a lot to the story. She is not a top level character. She's going in B for now. People probably aren't gonna like this one. Serpico's going at the bottom of B. Bro, he is the biggest tag along in the group, and I don't vibe with him at all. I liked when he was more at heads with Guts, and he just doesn't seem to be anymore. I don't really know what purpose he serves. I can't put him in the same ranking as like other characters. I just can't. Schnoz, S tier. Top at S tier. Best meme that came from Berserk. I have no idea why this thing exists. Miura was not cooking that day because what the fuck is that? S tier. Scully. My boy Skull Knight. He's taken the top of A. Skull Knight is so interesting, and when I go into my Breaking Down Berserk series and when we get to characters, which is a long time away, talking about Skull Knight's gonna be so interesting. We might even have new information about him then. He's the #1 mystery in Berserk, and I can't wait to find out what Miura was cooking with him and who he actually is. He's a badass. He has really good monologue speeches, and he has an awesome sword. Let's go. A tier. What's her name? It's TH something. Teresa, something like that, from the Black Swordsman arc. You're gonna see next week. I've got a video about how I think Berserk will end, and you know, my theory is that she might turn up again. There was a plot thread left untouched. It was Guts killed her father in front of her. He ruined her life, and she swore revenge on him. And I think in a perfect way, she needs to turn up again. But I'm not gonna say too much because I want you to watch that video. She is gonna go in the bottom of B tier because she's a nothing character at the moment. That might change. Also, she is the first time we see emotion from Guts in the whole series. Like sad emotion, not any other emotion, because he's angry all the time. And I think that's really important, and an important thing to remember. Is this the baby, the fetus? Bro, bottom of C tier. It's important. It's important to Guts' trauma as well, but what the hell? Vargas. Is that his name? Vargas? C tier. What a random choice of character. I like how the last two we've got are just like apostles. This was such a weirdly weighted list. Wild, whatever he's called. What gross guy. Like, what a violent monster of an apostle. And we see some of these apostles have like some level of humanity. That guy got none. None. Yeah, he's going in C tier. I didn't really vibe with his inclusion in the story. Finally, we got Nosferatu Zod, S tier. I'm sorry. Wait, who have I put him above? Nah, Zod is S tier. Zod is going to be so important to this story. He's been so important from the beginning. He's in one of the coolest panels in all of Berserk where Guts is riding him through a lightning storm. Bro, Zod is the shit. I love Zod. And that, after I move Snoz out of the top of S tier and put him in, he's got to go in the bottom of F tier. That is the list. This is an activity that I'd like to do again after I'd completed my Breaking Down Berserk series, where I'm gonna reread everything and really delve into more detail. I think it'll be interesting to see what ranks change and whether I can add more to some of the rankings and delve deeper into my reasons why. But for today, I think that's about where we'll leave it. I want to know your guys' opinions down below on Berserk characters with 2 questions in mind. Who is your favourite character and who is your least favourite character, and let me know why. While you're down there, you can also like, subscribe and hit that notification bell to be alerted every single time that I upload, including every Berserk video this month. And if you want to pick up some manga or books yourself, including Berserk, you can get them over at Sci-Fi. And if you're shopping there, you can also use my code NERDLOUNGE to get 5% off at checkout. But if Sci-Fi isn't quite your fancy, there's also some links down in the description to Forbidden Planet and Blackwells. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you want to check out another video of mine, you can click on either the left and right of me, but if you're sick of seeing this face, then I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.